Yo, 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 are we streaming? How we doing? Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's Owen Video here, logging into the TubeBuddy channel. It is so good to see you guys today. I feel like I haven't streamed in a while. I do. I feel like it's been a couple months, and you know, we had Nick on the channel. You've had Brian G. Johnson on the channel. You've had some really killer guests on the channel, and like little old me. You guys want to see little old me? It just makes me so sad. I'm happy to be here, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little loopy. Oh my gosh. You know, it's like no matter what I do, I'm never fully prepared. Andrew Kahn, what's up? Josh Crawford, good to see you. Josh Crawford's got a drumming channel. Really love what you're doing over there. And it's good to see you guys here. Buddy is saying, hey, love me some TubeBuddy. I hope you mean that appropriately. I'm glad to be here, guys. I'm Owen Video. I'm a YouTube vlogger. I also am a YouTube consultant and a video marketing coach for brands, agencies, and your company. And you guys can check me out at thevideospot.net. Want to encourage you as well. Go check out my channel. I would love for you guys to subscribe and become a part of the community there. Crosshop is saying, what's up? Dub Warriors saying, I just need a little help. Me too, pal. Let me tell you, I just cried on air. Oh, Eric Kotzka, my first day as a member of TubeBuddy. I'm excited to see you guys here, and whether you're watching live or on the replay, we're going to have a fantastic show today. We're going to be talking about my favorite topic on YouTube, which is thumbnail science. And the reason that I like thumbnail science is because thumbnails are what is going to get you clicked. You're going to get clicked because of your thumbnails. Now, you're going to get ranked and you're going to get found because of a lot of other types of optimizations. But once you're in front of somebody, they're going to click on you because of your thumbnail. And what we're going to do today is we're going to review some of the best thumbnail makers out there. We're going to look, I'm out of sync. How badly out of sync am I? We're going to look at, I don't know that I can fix this live on the air, guys. I apologize if there's a sync, but we're going to be going to a screen share for most of it. So hopefully, hopefully you guys can stand it. I've been on back-to-back streams today. How's this? Does this help for the out of syncness if you don't have to see it? You know, it's funny. We talk about, you know, how bad is it? It's like really bad, but it depends on kind of like are you media literate, you know, or not? So I'm going to switch to that and then I'll come back. How's the sync now? How's the sync now? Is it worse? Is it better? Let me know, guys. So we got DT Ryder saying it's much better. Geeky Swap. Crosshop is out there. Smart Drive. Good to see you guys. Tripod Tactical. That's a cool name. Is it worse? Well, I made it worse. Okay, so let's go back to 500. I love how on the air, though, right? How's that? Are we better? Is it the same? So everyone's got these different opinions. You know, it's just kind of it's interesting the way that it works. I've just tried to play with the sync a little bit. You know, when I tested it, it was okay. And now we're sort of like experimenting with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to a screen share, and then that'll sort of help the sync problem. But now we see it's way better. Buddy Karchite is saying, follow Owen on Twitter. It's great stuff. I will admit, the nipple shots I posted were pretty good. But no, I'm kidding. None of that stuff is on Twitter. None of it. I try to keep it family friendly here for the most part. We looking better, Andrew? How we doing? You know, guys, Andrew Kahn is somebody who just is doing such great stuff with TubeBuddy and with video marketing. And so it's so exciting to be a part of the community here. Let me tell you, it says the average Dan says we're perfect. Quinn in the cloud says, hey, y'all, Quinn, you're getting a shout out on my channel. We actually made the video already. And Nitro Wheel is asking questions. Are YouTubers returning to... Sorry, Andrew. I forget that that I want to keep it good. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. Today's show is gonna be pretty academic, right? We're gonna go through media analysis. We're gonna check out exactly what a good thumbnail looks like. We're gonna talk about the science behind it. And then what we're going to do is make one of our own using the TubeBuddy built-in software. So if you guys don't have TubeBuddy yet, or if you are on a free version and you haven't upgraded yet, you can go to thevideospot.net/TubeBuddy and you can get started on TubeBuddy for 1 penny. That means you can access all of the free features. Oh, sorry. is that why he deleted him? You can get all of the free feature or all of the premium features, and you can use them for just 1 penny. So that's the link to go get that. It's a very special deal I worked out with TubeBuddy so that you guys could get the advanced features. So who's ready to get started? You guys ready to get started and go into this? If you are, say yeah in the comment section. I want to see that you guys are ready and excited for today's topic. Now, today's topic's probably going to cover something like maybe 25 to 30 minutes. But then after that, I'm going to go right into your questions, and I'm going to start answering your questions, whether or not it's about the thumbnails or anything else that you wanted to go into. So I'm seeing Alvin Block say yeah. I'm seeing Awesome Sauce say yeah. Do you guys know what show that's from? It's from a cartoon show, and it's one of my favorite shows. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Seeing Eric, DT, Hydrocynical. All right, we're going to get started, guys. So let me go to my notes here so that I don't lead anybody astray. What we're going to go through today is how you can be making thumbnails that just stand out in the inbox. And one of the things that you guys got to remember is that YouTube is all about thumbnails, right? So it's not like a Facebook environment where you're only going to see the thumbnails for half a second. As a matter of fact, as soon as you log into YouTube, what do you see? Thumbnail here, a thumbnail here, a thumbnail here, and so on. This is all thumbnails. So in order to get more attention on YouTube, you have to have a thumbnail that stands out from the other thumbnails on the search page or on your homepage. And what I've done is I've sort of put together a couple of my favorite thumbnails that we're going to sort of go through and we're going to look at today. So let's start with Nick Nimon. You guys know Nick? Nick is a good friend of the TubeBuddy channel. He's also the co-host on my podcast, which you can go to iTunes and check out my podcast called The Owen Video Show. We talk about online and video marketing. Just go to iTunes and search for Owen Video. Let's take a look at what Nick is doing here, okay, from a media perspective. Let me just go to the chat and make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Everything's still good? You guys can hear me okay? Yes. Okay, wonderful. I appreciate you guys. And Kill Creation says regular show. Awesome. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's the favorite stream. It's my favorite show to watch with my kids. And now we're just now starting to get into a show called Clarence, which is just cracking me up. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on in this picture. First of all, Nick is in a regular room. This is a regular photograph, okay? The background is just the normal background in his apartment or his office or wherever it is. And you notice that he's well lit, okay? So he's well lit. Guys, I'm going to put that link to TubeBuddy in there in the there we go. I'm putting the link to TubeBuddy so you can get TubeBuddy for a penny. And you can use all the premium features for a penny. That's in the chat box right now. So he's in a regular room and his face is well lit. Okay, that's one thing that we want to notice. Then he's holding up this plain piece of white paper. And then what's going on top of that? Well, he's got some text here, but what are you noticing about the text? Okay, first, he's got 3 different text colors. He's got the yellow, the white, and the red. That link is broken. You could say Andrew Kahn is saying that Nick is lit. Well, that's one way to say it. Absolutely. If we're going to say nips on the air, we might as well go the distance, right? Hey, guys, I'm going to try and fix that link for you right now. Give me just 1 second. I want to make sure that we don't distract too much from the theme today. Now, how is he getting his text to stand out? He's using color boxes. Okay, guys, I'm reposting the bit.ly link. He's using color boxes. So he's got a black color box right here, a white color box here, and he's got a red color box right here. Let's analyze this, guys, because this stuff matters, right? My wife and I are launching a channel on marriage and marriage togetherness and marriage fun, and I'm explaining to her how to make the text really pop. And we're talking about color boxes here. Notice how the black color box is all black. Okay? Notice it's all black. The white color box is all white. The red color box is actually a gradient. So look at how he's added sort of this darker color down here to help make this text really pop. And that separates sort of the white of the S from the white of the back paper. Okay? Now, he's cut out his finger just a little bit here, and he probably did this. Are you serious, guys? The bit.ly link is broken too? I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why they're broken. They should be working just fine, but we'll get that fixed throughout the course of the show. I just tried the bit.ly link, and it worked fine, guys. You're going to need to copy the whole thing, okay? You're going to need to copy the whole thing and paste it in there. It seems to me that it's working just fine, so I apologize for any of that. So we're noticing some things here, guys. We're noticing that he just took a regular picture of himself and that he added some text with some color boxes here, okay? Notice that the text is not, there's no shadow, there's no stroke on it, okay? It's just the text, but the color boxes do have a little bit of a shadow on them. Okay, they do have a little bit of a shadow on them. So keep that in mind, all right? All right, here we go. We're going to go to the next one now. Let's take a look at another one right here. Okay, this is Brian G. Johnson. Do you guys know Brian? Fantasy Couch says, notice the poor photoshopping under his right index finger. Everyone's a critic, right? Everyone's a critic, you know? But let's take a look at what Brian G. Johnson is doing here. What do you guys, let me ask you guys in the comment section, let me ask you guys, what do you notice that's different about Brian G. Johnson's thumbnail here? Just put him in the comment section. You know, he's done some things a little bit differently than Nick does. Can you guys notice? Let me go back. I'm coming back to the comment sections here. Just want to give you guys a second to answer. I'm checking the 1 penny offer. And I'm making sure that all that is good to go. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's go read some of the comments here. All right, so misspelling causes intrigue. Very interesting, Symarchy. I love that. Text has, so Canadian Moto Gal says text has a black outline and tone colors are not quite as contrasting. Yeah. Quinn in the Clouds is saying the outlines and shapes stand out with an eye for an angle. Very good. Alvin Blocks is saying no lighting. Alyssa is saying poof pixie dust. That's distinctly Brian G. Johnson. I did repost that link, guys, and it does look like it's working just fine. He's got a white outlined body. Okay, I'm very intrigued, guys. I'm very excited to see that you guys are media literate. I'm very excited to see it. Let's analyze this, okay? So number one, he's not using a real background. He's using a digital background, which is just the black color from Photoshop, okay? His lines are not as straight as Nick's were. Look at Nick's lines. Look at Nick's lines here, guys. These are just like all perfectly straight, evened out, even Steven type of lines here. Brian's kind of using these crooked lines, right? Which sort of creates, I hate to use the word intrigue again, but it's more urban. It's more rugged. What do you think those crooked lines say about his content? I'd love to know your thoughts. Notice his use of the logo. Brian's using a logo, and he's got a logo in every one of his thumbnails for the most part. Let's actually take a look at Brian's stuff right here. Let's go to YouTube algorithm. Look at Brian's thumbnails here. He's got logo, logo, logo. So we actually see that Brian is building a brand. He's saying something about who he is. Michael Perez is saying he's got a mad scientist vibe. Totally. Brian G. Johnson is saying, I hate those thumbnails. Oh, wait a second. That's Brian G. Johnson. He's in the chat room right now. This is a guy who is building a brand, and he is trying to create connection in the mind of the viewer so that when you see his thumbnail, you're not just seeing an advertisement for his video. What you're seeing is an advertisement for Brian himself. And his, Brian's whole MO is sort of the mad scientist. It's on, it's crazy, and you're going to love it. That's Brian G. Johnson. And he streams on the TubeBuddy channel once a month. Okay? So we've got sort of Nick's video here where Nick he's in a real background. He's holding up a sheet of paper and he's blending reality with the digital space. Okay? We move over to Brian G. Johnson, and what we're seeing is the only real part of this. Oops, let me just go and click that transition. The only real part of it, right? Nick's is nice and streamlined and the lines are pretty much straight and it's all perfectly symmetrical. Brian's got he's a little more edgy, okay? It's 90% digital. And the only thing real about that is the picture of himself. Notice as well how Brian is using his finger here to point to the text as if to say, look at what I'm talking about. He's drawing attention to his brand. Super important, guys. Super important. Now, I'm not here to tell you that Nick's is better or Brian's is better. I'm here to show you 3 thumbnail makers who are, I think, the best thumbnail makers on YouTube, okay? And the different things that they're doing. We've also got this arrow right here to work with the upload more. I know Brian's watching. I'm going to say I don't love this upward arrow because it kind of draws the eye to another video, to the video that's right above him. I understand why he's doing it is because it's upload. Okay, but you've got this finger right here pointing to the upload more. He's misspelled the word more intentionally to build his brand. So a lot of different things are going on here. Okay, and I'm just going to go back to the, sort of what's going on in the comment section below here. Yeah, Nick Nimon, nice brain. Yeah, totally, he's got a nice brain. Brian G, is he the real Wizard of Oz? He might be Awesome Sauce. Hey, guys, I love Awesome Sauce and the stuff that he's doing. As a new creator, if you guys are new in the creation space, then check out Awesome Sauce and what he's doing. He's got some really great momentum happening right now. All right, let's go. Do you guys know who this guy is? Tell me if you know who he is. Put his name in the comment section below. Okay, so this is one of my favorite YouTube creators, and the reason that I love him, the reason that I like his work is because it's crisp and it's clear, and he is just right to the point. Cymarchy is saying video influencers. Absolutely. Elisa is saying Sean Cannell. That's right. La Mystique, Sean Cannell. Smart Drive Test, Sean Cannell. Sean Cannell is a fantastic YouTube creator. He's been in the game for a long time, and he makes some great thumbnails. Now, let me tell you guys a quick story. Can I? Is that okay if I take like a quick second out? And I hope it's okay that I'm sort of doing like a non-traditional stream. I'm sort of like having some fun today because deep inside, I'm dead. I'm dead inside. My last video only got like 300 views, and so a piece of me has died. And so what I'm doing, no, I'm just kidding. They're hit or miss, guys. They're hit or miss. And sometimes you've got to do niche videos that aren't going to go viral, but your audience needs them. So let me tell you a quick story about Sean Cannell. So I met Sean Cannell at Vid Summit 1 in 2014. And that was when, for me, I was really coming up. So I came out and I was like, I'm Mr. Cool Guy. I run into Sean Cannell and I go, hey, so what do you do? And he goes, oh, I'm a creator. I got a channel. And I said, oh, that's great. What do you do? And he kind of told me, oh, I help creators and I help churches and I do that sort of thing. And so I start giving him advice. Oh, you should do this. You should do this. Didn't even know he had like 3 different channels and, 300,000 subscribers. I had no idea. And I didn't know it for a good long while. As a matter of fact, I stayed in touch with him after Vid Summit and was just writing him like, hey, how did your stream go? And how did your thing go? And noticed that I maybe wasn't getting as much response from him as I would have liked to. And I go, who does this guy think he is? Who does this guy think he is? And I go to his channel. I find out, oh my gosh, he's Sean Cannell. You know what I mean? So it kind of opened my eyes to who he really is. And I started spending more time deconstructing his media. So let's get into that deconstruction mode again and really look at what he's doing here. So again, we're looking at these sort of in relationship to Nick's thumbnail and to Brian G. Johnson's thumbnail. All right, and I see that we got a $5 donation from Smart Tech Guy, Wes, that tech guy. Wes, if you want to, let me see, I can try to get to your thumbnail in a second. That just took me to I need a link to your channel, my friend, and we can definitely do that. Okay, so what we have here is that he's using a real background. But notice how he's actually got stuff in the background. He's got his image here. He's got a lamp right here. He's got a window right here, which helps his head to stick out. Whereas Nick was just sort of using a dark background. Now, again, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm giving you guys ideas for what you can do in making your own thumbnails. Okay? What else is Nick doing with his hands? Nick actually has a product demo in his hands, right? So he's actually got the mics that he's going to be demonstrating in his video here. Very key, because video is demonstrative, okay? Video is it's a medium by which we want to share visually with people. And you've got to extend that into your thumbnails. And I'm going to bring all those things together in just a minute. And I'm going to show you guys what are some of the rules, right? The rules for successful thumbnails. We see he's taken the same approach as Nick using color boxes, okay? And he's using text. What I would add about this is look at how this color box right here, And this is media literacy, guys. This is straight up media literacy. I can't even enjoy TV shows anymore because I'm just sort of, hey, tech guy, I've got your channel right now. Because I'm just sort of analyzing everything, you know. And I watch shows like Vikings. And I'm watching the Vikings. I think I'm bringing up your show. And I'm noticing the colors, and I'm noticing this, and I'm noticing that. I want you guys to notice how this box extends out farther into the thumbnail. He's got all this blank space right here. But it doesn't matter because our eyes are drawn to the contrast, the black and the white contrast. Okay? So those are some things to look at. Notice right here, he's introduced a brand new color, this teal color. Now, why is that significant? I'm going to show you why. Because he's wearing a blue shirt. And if you guys notice, go to Sean Cannell's channel and notice how many times he's wearing this blue shirt. He wears it often. And I'm not saying that to criticize him. I'm saying that because he knows that blue is his color. He's got blue eyes. He's got a blue shirt. And he's got a third color blue. And it almost kind of matches his eyes. Right in here. So he's creating connection again, the same way that Brian G. Johnson creates connection with his logo. Okay? So we want to be creating a connection with our thumbnails here. All right? So let's bring this all together, okay? And I'm kind of struggling here on the chat. There we go. So there's just like too much going on. So we've got a couple different things happening, and I'm going to sort of review them. I made some notes here on some things that you guys want to be thinking about as you're making your thumbnail. So we just spent about 20 minutes reviewing some great thumbnails and really deconstructing what's happening there. Let's take a look at what all three of these have in common. And just so you guys know, by the way, I reached out to Nick and I reached out to Brian. I haven't talked to Sean about this, but I reached out to those two guys and I said, send me a link to your best performing thumbnail. Because I don't want to just take a look at a thumbnail that looks good. I want to be looking at a thumbnail that actually performs well. And here are some of the things that we discovered. Okay, number one is that in every one of these thumbnails, we see eyeballs. We see someone's face, right? We're looking at Sean's face. We're looking at Brian's face. And we're looking at Nick's face. Here's some of the differences between having these human eyeballs. Nick is on the right-hand side. Brian is on the left-hand side. And Sean is smack dab in the middle. And these are all assuming that, I mean, this video's got a ton of views on it, so I'm assuming that it's a good performing thumbnail. Where you place the eyeballs is less important than having human eyeballs. Okay? I need to see a human face to create an immediate grab with my viewers. Okay? The next thing that we see in every single one of these, can you guys guess it? Guess it in the comment section below. It has to do with color. I'd love to know if you guys can guess what the next big thing that we notice in between here. Buddy is saying, if you watch and listen, Owen is helping you. Sweet. Average Dan, thank you. And it looks like I figured out how to go to your channels now, so that's cool too. And I can check out some of these guys. Average Dan and Wes have both donated to us using Super Chat, which enables us to, go the extra mile and review their channels. But the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys is the color contrast. All of these have phenomenal color contrast. Sean with the blue and the beige, color contrast. Brian with the black, the white, and the red, color contrast, okay? And then even in Nick's, look at how we go, not necessarily color contrast, but what are we seeing is a light contrast. Nick is big and bold and bright, and this is big and bold and bright. And what's happening in the background? The background is dark, okay? So we're seeing a lot of color contrast here. So those are two big rules that we want to see in your thumbnails. The third rule is text. The third rule is text. You've got to be including some good text in your thumbnails, okay? The text needs to be readable. And the text needs to be, get this, experiential. The text should be experiential. What does experiential mean? It means that we don't view these thumbnails in a vacuum, okay? We don't view the thumbnails in a vacuum. To the contrary, we experience the thumbnails in relationship to the title. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. How many of you guys well, let me ask you. When you're looking at a video in search, do you look at the thumbnail, then the title? Or do you look at the title and then the thumbnail? Let me know in the comment section, okay? And the reason that I ask this is because oftentimes I see creators are making their thumbnail in a vacuum and then titling them in a vacuum. What you've got to remember is that most people will look at these experientially, right? So Royal Tech or Discovering Natural is saying thumbnail first. Afshin is saying thumbnail first. Fantasy Couch, thumbnail first. I heard someone, so Guardian is saying title, then thumbnail. Nitro Wheel is saying title and then thumbnail. Guys, I am a title first guy. I look at the title first to see if it's relevant to my search, and then I look at the thumbnail to see if I'm going to like the style of the creator, okay? So keep those things in mind, that we experience the title along with the thumbnail. So the text that you use, okay, should complement. The text that you use should complement your title. It should not duplicate your title. And it should not be so like, it should not add on to your title, right? So sometimes I'll see that a creator or a client will create a title like YouTube Algorithm 2017. And then on the thumbnail, they'll put something like explained, right? The problem with that is we don't know how they're going to experience that listing. Are they going to go title first and thumbnail, or thumbnail first and title? Or are they just going to kind of look at it and make a guess? So your thumbnail and your title have to work hand in hand, okay? Now, moving on with that same message of text, your text needs to be where the contrast is. Your text needs to be where the contrast is, okay? Here's how you can do that. You can use shadows. See how Nick has put these color boxes with shadows? You could also shadow the text. You can use strokes. And a stroke is an outline. It's very easy to do in Photoshop. It's very easy to do in the TubeBuddy thumbnail maker. And you can also, of course, use color boxes, as both of these creators are using color boxes. Okay? Two more things, and then we'll actually show you how to make it. The fourth aspect is these are all built in layers. They're built in layers, and if you build your thumbnail in layers, meaning you've got a base layer, and then a layer on top of that, and then a layer on top of that, versus using, notice how none of these are using blends. We don't see any type of imagery added together, or, where I might put like a big glow behind me to blend in with the background. Now, I have used this before, but I use that technique for what? Contrast, right? I don't necessarily use it to create this amazing imagery, because at the end of the day, we're only looking at that thumbnail this big, right? The biggest it's ever going to get. Let's see. Let's actually take a look at it. I'll watch my thumbprint won't work, right? Because I'm on the... So as soon as I log in, that's as big as you're ever going to see a thumbnail. But what happens is when we're making our thumbnails, they're like full screen, you know? And so you put all this text in or you do these cool imagery. When it gets down to that many pixels, maybe like, what was that, 300 pixels, you're not going to see that much. So make sure that you're building in layers and that you're building on top of each other versus trying to cram everything in side to side. Okay? The last thing that we want to do, the last thing that we want to keep in mind here is that your thumbnail makes a promise as to the type of video we're about to watch. Your thumbnail makes a promise, okay? And those things are really important to think about. Your thumbnail cannot be, if you got a video about dogs, you don't put a picture of a cat on your thumbnail. If you're not going to be, or if you're in, I see this a lot, if you're going to be in your video, then you probably should have a picture of yourself on that video. If you're doing a screen tutorial, you should have a picture of the screen on your thumbnail or something else that tells me what I can expect. Otherwise, here's what happens. You're going to show me this great looking professional thumbnail with like a computer tutorial on it and maybe like this great text. And then as soon as I click it, it's you in your basement in bad lighting. What you've done is you've made a promise. You've said, hey, this video is going to be high impact, high graphics, the color's going to be great, it's going to pop. But then as soon as I turn it on, you know, it's kind of like, actually, that actually made my lighting better. But you know what I mean? As soon as you turn the video on, it's kind of like, oh, hey, I'm a crappy video. So your thumbnail needs to make a promise. Okay? So let's go to some of these channels here. Yeah, this is a great opportunity. Let's do this right now. Let's go into some of these channels right here and see. We're going to give the average Dan, and we're going to give you guys a live sort of preview of some of these thumbnails. Now, keep in mind, it is not my job right now to make you feel good about your channel or to judge your content. We're only looking at thumbnails, and I'm only going to be providing you with feedback that I think will be helpful for you. Okay? So this is the average Dan's channel. And we're just going to take a look at this thumbnail right here. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here to give you guys sort of a sound. I'm going to give you a bigger version of it by finding a big version of the thumbnail. I don't know if you guys knew you could do this, as I'm like reverse hacking his channel right here. So this is going to pull up his thumbnail. Now, let me ask you guys in the comment section, what are some things that you would recommend based on what we've heard today? Let me hear them in the comment section below. Okay, I'm just going to give you guys a second to do that. And then as you're doing that, I'm going to go and I'm going to pull up another one of his videos here that I think is a really great example of how we could probably make some better thumbnails here. And again, my goal here, guys, is to help you make thumbnails that are going to stand out in the inbox or stand out in the search engine. That's it. You know, that's my big goal here. This one is not actually pulling up his thumbnail, so the code's different. So we're going to have to skip that one. All right, let me go into the comment section and see what we got here. Picture of a tent, cabin, or woods. Yep. We got a black stroke. Now, so you're saying black stroke. Most contracts is around the text. Color blocks for the text. All of that is super, super great advice. Yeah. So here's some things that I'm seeing, guys. Number one is the green kind of hits my eyes awkwardly. And you know what? Green does that. Green sort of hits the eyes backwards. So if you're going to use a green text, you really need to be on a black or super dark background. Okay? Here's another thing that I see. I don't really need that. And Adirondacks, Dan, I don't know that I thought Adirondack was a chair. That's kind of a weird word. That I'm not sure I would throw in there. But how about camping sandwich? Right? Camping sandwich, sort of kind of like you're eating a sandwich, right? I'm not exactly sure. So maybe we could use less text, okay? I'm thinking that your image, this big thing, you could have sharpened this in Photoshop. Look at how kind of blurry and blown out it is. All right? And then when I minimize this, let's see if I can minimize this. See, it looks a little sharper there, but it's still sort of white, right? And this is about how big it's going to be when you view it. So if I were you, I would have taken this and moved your image to about up here, and then you'd have more room to play with the text. 5 makes no sense to me. Have no idea what it is. This right here, let me blow it up again. The average Dan, I see what you're doing, kind of like how Brian Johnson is using his logo. The problem, Dan, is this is a really busy logo. It's really busy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 words. We have 11 words here. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, and that's a lot. Here we have 2 words. 2, 3, 4, just to be fair. And here we have 3 words. So maybe too many words, Dan. Not enough contrast. And I would again go back to, you guys want to see something cool? Go, and Andrew, maybe you can post this for us. Go Google Donald Duck in Mathland. Google Donald Duck in Mathland. It's an old Disney thing that we used to watch in grade school, and they'll talk about how to structure images so that it hits your eyeball. Hey, I'm getting more donations, so that's good to see, guys, and we're going to get to those. So I want you guys to think about that when you're making your thumbnails. Big advice for you, Dan, on this one is number 1 is more color contrast between your images and your text. More color contrast between your images and your text. Less text. The white stroke on the background. So you got a lot of white colors here already. You got white in your face. We've got this high, this orange here. We got your white arm. And I don't mean white like skin color. I mean it's a little blown out. So I would have put like color boxes here. And you can use color boxes. You can add color boxes in TubeBuddy. And I would have put, if you couldn't use color, I would have put like a black stroke around those. Okay? So Larry Show says, awesome knowledge. Owen, thank you. Thanks, guys. It's so funny as I appreciate it because as I'm sort of doing it, in my head, it's always like, this sucks. You're horrible. You're the worst streamer ever. And so it's nice to get that live feedback so that you're doing something good. So let's go to Wes, the tech guy. Wes, you've been awesomely, awesomely patient. Looks like you got a brand new channel. And I'll tell you what, guys, when you got a brand new channel like this, let me hang on a second. When you got a brand new channel like this, it's so helpful to, I'm going to go to this one right here. It's so helpful to, throw $5 into the super chat and get your stuff analyzed. I didn't have super chat when I first started, so I actually had to reach out to these guys and I bought lunch for people. I mean, I bought coffee for people at the conferences, anything that I could do to get more time with Daryl, to get more time. Daryl's a personal friend, he's now, we've spent a lot of time together and I'm going to be speaking at CVX Live because of my relationship with Daryl, and obviously because I'm doing some decent stuff on YouTube. So let's take a look at Wes the Tech Guy's channel, and take a look at what we've got going on here. So first things first, you guys tell me what you're seeing in the comment section. Tell me in the comment section, what are some of the things that you're seeing in this particular thumbnail, okay? So one of the first things that I'm seeing is the text is, again, look, we're never going to be able to read all that, right? That's what it's going to look like when you first log into YouTube from your mobile phone. So the text, I can't even see it. But chances are when you made it, you had it full screen on your computer screen. I do like the purple because purple is the opposite color of green. And you have a lot of green up here. Okay? What you could have done is this. You could have actually put a green layer on top of this and then added the text on top, like a green color layer, right? A color overlay is what they call it in Photoshop, and then sort of dial down the opacity. And that would make the purple pop even more. But I like how you did the purple with the green. Now, I'd love to know, Wes, did you do that because you knew purple and green were opposites? So, guys, play around with color opposites. And if you've got like a blue background here, take a look at what the opposite of blue is. Okay? And more specifically, take a look at what the opposite of this kind of blue is. This is more of a gray. But I love the color contrast. The words are too small, and there's too many words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 words. Wow. Wow. Okay, so that's sort of a thing there. I would go with fewer words, and I want to encourage you not to write vertically. Write horizontally, write up and down. Notice how here, Nick's got like, let me see if I can I measure those? It's hard to measure because you can't see my screen. But look at how, or you can't see my fingers. Let me just sort of measure it. Okay, so Nick's, let me just give you guys a look here. When I measure Nick's images, it's about that size. That's how tall Nick's images are, or his text is. When I go back to yours, Wes, it's about the size of my thumbnail. So Nick's images or Nick's texts are twice as big. The font is twice as big. So keep that in mind. You need to have large text. And I would get rid of the fancy fonts. Just go with the straight up Arial bold, man. We get fancy with our text because we're artists, but the reality is that people are going to judge these within seconds. And what you want to do is be the person that's most readable, that's most legible. All right? So I think this stream's going to go a little long today, Andrew. I hope that's okay, because I'm sitting here thinking, how are we going to end in 15 minutes? And there's just no way. Wes, I'd get rid of this Wes the Tech Guy stuff. You don't need that down there. You've got a lot of blank space here, too. A lot of blank space. I don't know what this is about at first glance. I have to read it to really understand it. You've got 3 red cars here. Red car, red car, red car. And then you've got this gradient arrow. And the worst part is the dark part of the gradient matches the dark part of the tree. So you've got dark, 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 and then a whole bunch of red. It does not stand out. Do you guys think that looks a little odd to you? Like the arrow it's kind of like you can see it, but you almost like don't like it. That's something to think about here. What you may have wanted to do is a white arrow, because you got these are all dark colors. And then maybe like the arrow is white with a really strong green outline. It's like a stroke arrow. And I would have maybe taken this car and just got a better picture of it. You don't need these other cars here. They're actually kind of confusing. This sort of looks like a dealership sort of thing here. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to come into the average Dan says, good to know. I hope it's constructive, guys, because I never want to break you down. I never want to break you down. Let's go to, I'm trying to keep up here. There's just like so much going on. And I'll tell you what, guys, if we don't get to you today, maybe we can do it. We can do it next time as well. Like I'll come back again, and we'll do. Maybe Phil will let me do another one. All right, so let's go to short circuit breakers. Are you guys enjoying this? Does this work for you guys? Okay. I hope so. All right, so let's go to this one. I see some of you guys saying, "Hey, look at my stuff. Guys, we've got super chat. If you want to be noticed and you really want to get ahead of the curve, then I would urge you to use the super chat, because we've already got, more super chat donors than we can get to today, and I'm doing our best to get to them. So just putting, "Hey, look at my channel" in the comment section probably won't get you. So we're going to do this, and then I'm going to do Fowler's, okay? So Fowler's, I see you in there, and we're going to get to you as soon as we do this one here. So let's take a look. We're going to do something different on this one. We're going to look at the whole channel and start here. First of all, short-circuited brewers, congrats on the 1,200 subscribers. That's fantastic. And I'm going to share my screen here so you guys can get back to that. Okay, so let's go to your videos here. And the first thing that I'm noticing is, let me just expand this a little bit. Give me a sec here. It just takes a second to sort of pop up. The first thing that I'm noticing is that you've got, sort of a neat playlist here, and these all sort of match. So I like that. I like that a lot. What I'm also noticing is that you got Herms. I mean, you say it twice. I get that they're both related, but do you really need them? Do you really need them both? Here's my problem. When I come back down here, I see 3 completely different thumbnails, right? There's no connection here. Different. These could be 3 completely different channels. So let's go into your videos section. All right, now we're talking. Okay, so I like this. I like that you've got this connection thing here with the red and the black. So I really like this green one too, but you don't have any text there. So I can't do them all, even though I want to. Let's just go to this one, and we're going to analyze this one a little bit, man. I wish that they would just show me the thumbnail here. Now, if you guys are enjoying this chat right now, why don't you click the share button on YouTube? It's going to take me a second to pull all this up. Click the share button. Get this out on Facebook. Let people know that you appreciate what TubeBuddy is doing by sharing our video and helping this channel to grow. And once you share it, leave me a comment in the comment section that says you shared it. And I might even be able to come give you a shout out. So how you like that? How you like me now? All right, let's take a look at this. What is the biggest problem with this thumbnail? Tell me in the comment section. What is the biggest problem with this thumbnail? I can't see the dang beer. I can't see it. This right here, my man, this is your money shot. Is that beer in that glass? And I can't even see it, which is too bad. Here's the other thing, is that I don't know what kind of beer this is. All I know, it's Friday night beer review. But guess what? You say that multiple times already. Friday night beer review, Friday night beer review, Friday night beer review, Friday night beer review, Friday night beer review. Right? Get rid of that, man. Nobody is Googling Friday night beer review. Nobody. But you know what they might be Googling? Oops. They might be Googling gluten-free beer. They might be Googling tea beer. And these are some of the things that you've, de-emphasized here. So I would have really encouraged you to get a shot of the bottle, okay? And maybe you could have set up here, gluten-free raspberry beer, right? I'm a beer drinker. Well, no, I take that back. I used to be a beer drinker. After chemotherapy, my body just doesn't handle alcohol terribly well. And gluten and wheat, ever since chemo, have just like destroyed me. So a gluten-free fruity beer, that's right up my alley, okay? It's also very good for the females, right? Women like this stuff. And yet these are the parts of the thumbnail that aren't really popping up. So here's what I would have done. We don't need these 2 red bars because you say this in the title already, right? We talked about this. Friday night beer review. Friday night beer review. You don't need to repeat yourself. These are experiential, right? It's experiential. I would have instead gone with, gluten-free beer. Boom. And then shown this label. And if you want to create connection, put your logo down here, right? Now, here's another trick, guys. Here's another trick about reviewing thumbnails, okay, is that people read from right to left. I know in your camera it looks different, but we read from right to left here in the Western world, okay? So that is how our eyes naturally gravitate. Put the thing you want them to see first on the left-hand side. So in this particular case, Dan, I would have gone with I don't want to give these guys advertising because they're kind of jerks, but I would have gone with something like Nick, right? And this is the picture of the beer bottle, and maybe your eyes up here like this. And then down here in all this area, right, that's where you could put that red banner that says gluten-free tea beer. And I see a close-up of the bottle. Okay, you see how that works? And you can get all of those things matched and we're still following the exact same rules that I laid out in the very beginning. Okay? So let's go to Fowler's. Fowler's, here's something funny. I do tongue twisters before I go live and before I do video. And one of the tongue twisters I do is Francis Fowler's father. Francis Fowler's father fried 5 floundering flounders for Francis Fowler's father's father.
Hi, I'm Zachary Fowler. That's me, out in Patagonia with my slingshot.
Patagonia.
History's newest season of Alone, season 3. Catch me on the History Channel.
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to...
On Thursday nights. Hi, I'm Zachary Fowler. That's me, out in Patagonia with my slingshot.
Sorry, guys. Okay, all right, I got it going on a couple different channels right now. All right, so we're looking at Zach's channel, or I think he said Zach. Yeah, Zachary Fowler. So we're looking at Zach's channel, and we're going to start by looking at the channel as a whole. Now, number one thing, I really like your video here. Your image up here, I can't even tell what that is. It's just too much. So that might reveal a little bit to us about what your thumbnails look like. Let's see if I'm right. Okay. So you're doing some good stuff here. I'd say number one is just way too busy. And I think that you're trying too hard to match your brand. I do. I think you're trying too hard to match your brand. Meaning that it's like red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. Okay? So let's actually take a look at... Well, let's do this. I'm going to try to blow this up a little bit. Congrats on your 3,000 subs, man. It's so great to see you guys having success. It really is. This is really good. This one right here, wooden spoons. Here's the issue, though. Your title. YouTube thinks that you're trying to rank for vlog number 3. And that's really not what you're trying to rank for. I'm not even sure what you're trying to rank for, to be honest with you. Here. But it looks like something about wooden spoons. My kids would see those and they go, oh, look, spankers. Uh-oh, CPS is at my door. Okay, so here's why I like this, because I've been knocking everybody's for so long. I want to be positive. Great contrast here. Great contrast. We got like brown, beige, natural tones with this green and red sort of thing here. I love that. But instead of vlog number 3, couldn't we have gone with something like, I mean, what is it actually called? Let me go over here. It could have been something like Thresher's Brewery, because that's where you're at in the video. Thresher's Brewery. And again, over here, you're sort of like making sure that your thumbnail has your brand name in it everywhere. But man, no one's going to see that, right? Because when they see it, it's only going to be 300 pixels wide. So all they're going to see is a green and red sort of blurb up there. And so you want to be really careful with that and how you're doing that. All right, so that was one that I thought was really good. Now let's take a look at one that we could probably improve upon. And let's go to this one, vlog number 5, because I like it. I want to encourage you guys to get away from episodic titling. I really want to encourage you to get away from episodic titling, because unless you're Gary Vee, it's not going to matter, right? Nobody's looking up vlog number 5, but I guarantee you they're looking up how to boost your cell phone signal living off the grid. That is a great title, and you could put if you're going to do episodic titling, episode 1, episode 2, what you could do is put that at the end of your video. Okay? Looking at the comments here a little bit. So let's go, and let me show you guys how to do this. So you're going to right-click on the video, and you're going to go View Page Source. And when you get up here, this is how you find the thumbnails. Then you go Find. And you're going to start typing in Max Res, right? Because Max Res Default is the name of the file that YouTube gives your thumbnails. So let's see what we could do to improve on this particular thumbnail. So get rid of this. Fowler's Mischief. It's busy. This is really busy, right? I'd get rid of this, and I think you need to choose between 4G and this one right here. My guess is that what you were trying to do. Oh, Samarky is saying that's how I used to find tags. That's funny. My guess is that what you were trying to do is fill up this gray space here, right? So, it's an interesting one. I think that you had some blank space here and some blank space here. What I would have done is I would have taken this whole image and just extended it out so that either one of two things happened. The end of the image is right here, right? The end of the image meets the end of the square here. And then that way, all the space, like that would have moved your face over to about the middle. And then you would have had all this blank space here to add text. You remove that, you remove vlog number 5, and you put one of these, either the 4G or the cell phone thing, and you put something like better signal, more signal, something like that. Otherwise, I really like where you're going with your thumbnails. You're not making bad thumbnails, okay? The thing that you're doing here is you're way too busy, just way too much going on, and you're making thumbnails that assume that the viewer is looking at you or can see these in high def. That's what I meant to say. You're assuming that they're seeing them full screen like you're editing them, but they're not. They're seeing them very, very tiny. Okay, so an example, and I'll just go to my channel real fast because it's easier than. Now, I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest thumbnail maker. Oh, you know what? But I'm not the world's worst either. So I want to show you one that I quickly made with Justin Brown. Do you guys know Justin Brown? Hey guys, 19,178 subscribers. What are we doing? Can we bump that up or what? Can you guys go to my channel and subscribe if you haven't already? And don't unsubscribe and then resubscribe, okay? Because that'll absolutely kill me. All right, look at how you can read this. You can read my thumbnails with me not having to do anything. Look at how simple they are. And look at this one that I did with Justin Brown right here. That's the one I wanted to show you. Is that it's just super simple, right? Background, Justin, some text, and a logo, right? I think one of the big things, Eric, thanks, buddy. I think one of the big things that we need to think about is less is more, okay? Simplify what it is that you're doing. So Fowlers, you're doing some great stuff. And I can tell that your channel's growing because people like you, right? You've got a good thing that you're doing here, and I want you to keep doing it. I want to encourage you to remove some of your text, tone it down a little bit, and choose one additional image, right? To go, see how I go on mine with Justin Brown. I needed something else, and I needed something to fill in that blank space. So what did I do? I added just that little simple emoji. That was it. Super simple. As opposed to adding, 5, 6 different images. Okay? So that's something to think about. All right, we got a few minutes left. I think we had another... let's go to these guys here. I don't even know if you should be seeing this. Is it rude? I have no idea. I don't know the, what do you call it? Oh, you guys can't even see. Oh, fantastic. You can't even see what I'm doing. How do I go to your channel? Okay, so I think we have time for it's Shaya J. Because I have got another live stream to do after this, believe it or not. And not for my own channel, for another channel. All right, so let's take a look at this one. It's coming up right now. Let me just cut this off. Now, guys, let me say this. Oops. Let me say this right now. We're not going to have time to get to everyone's today, but that doesn't mean that we can't get to you in the comment section later. So once this video goes live, if you had put in a super chat donation and didn't get attended to right now today, leave a comment on this video after the live is done so that we can come back and keep the conversation going. If you want to take your YouTube channel to the next level and you want to start getting real subscribers, I'm talking 5,000, 10,000 subscribers, 15,000 subscribers. If you want to start getting brand deals, if you want to start getting money for your channel, then I want you to consider my mastermind group. I run a mastermind group. It's $97 a month to be a part of this group. And this is all we do is we work on your channel. We work on your goals. We work on what you want to do. And you've got to reach out to me. It's by invite only. So you have to reach out to me if you want to do that. But that's my only pitch. And then I'm going to tell you guys is that that's available to you if you want to take your channel. I realize that's not for everybody. But if you're that group that wants to take it to the next level, that's available to you. So right away, Shaya J, I see great imagery. And this is actually a great lesson in imagery. Notice how she has 4 images here, but she separates them with this border. Brilliant. It was brilliant. Okay? And then to hide to blend it, she puts this contrasting white circle. Love it. I really do. Let's go to videos. Okay. A lot of really good things here. Stir the pot. I'm going to look at these as a whole, and then I'm going to go into 1 or 2 of them. So on stir the pot, what I really like about this is that you have the word pot in there, and then you have sort of like smoke. And it creates this intrigue. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? So I really like that. I'd love to know if you're watching right now, what was that your goal in doing that? Because I think it worked. Then in this next one here, I love this. Okay, we got two good-looking people, clear, clean background. Look at that. Lots of contrast there. What I don't like is this. I don't like this orange thing because why? Orange is red and brown. This lake is green and brown. Your skin color is brown. So there's just too much brown here. This would have been great as a purple, or let's just see opposite of brown. I'm going to get something inappropriate. Watch this. So it looks like white. That's great contrast. It didn't give me the exact answer I was looking for. But you need more contrast here. Okay, here's another great example. Karaoke. Love it. Dark car, dark skin, bright green color bar. Really, really good. Okay, so you're doing it right. Okay, let's take a look at what we could be doing better. The first thing I would say is you got to get the text off the bottom. Okay? You make the text, again, it should come out of the sides. Sides. Look at Nick's. Comes out of the side. Look at Brian's. Comes out of the side. Comes out of the side, and then it's centered, but it's broken. You got to get this in my line of sight. And if you go and Google Donald Duck in Mathland, they're going to go through a whole sequence. I forget what it's called, but they talk about like the spiral, and it goes into the rule of thirds and where that all came from. It's related to the Pythagorean theorem and where your eyes are naturally gravitated to. So in this, my eyes are naturally gravitating here. Okay? I don't think you need this image at all. And I like the smokiness of the pot. So you could have done like 2 images here and then moved this text up. Now, again, red and brown, brown and, it's really brown, right? And then this is just more brown. So if I were you, I mean, this should have been, get rid of the opacity, just make it a straight color, like boom, brown, or boom, brick red, whatever this color might be. But I would have gone with a green, like a really crisp, like this color green, right in here. And I would have angled it so that because you got so many straight lines here. Angle it so it catches my eye, so that maybe the angle is kind of like right, like this, like a 45-degree angle from the bottom, right? Something like that. Where the text is kind of like coming up from the bottom, it's a bam color, and the white just pops out of it. So I want you guys to think about those things. Going back to the live stream here. Blue Navy, saying that's what Abel is saying. Smart drive test saying Google let you down. Imagine that. Violet's practical help in Donald Duck in Mathland. Donald Duck in Mathland. Yeah, I will post that link again, guys, to the Get TubeBuddy for $1 or Get TubeBuddy for a penny. Now, TubeBuddy has a thumbnail maker inside the software, and it's very robust if you use it properly. Okay, if you use it properly, it's very robust. So I want you guys to experiment with that and play with that. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a template. We're going to bringing it all back down again, okay? I want you to make a thumbnail template. Your thumbnail template should include eyeballs. Make the human the biggest part of what you're doing, okay? in Shayna, you're a good-looking couple. Accentuate that. Don't share the screen with these other people. You and your husband, front and center. Okay? Play with that. I want to see your smiles. I want to see your eyes. I want to see more color contrast. The biggest issue that we've seen with all these thumbnails today, guys, is that you're all trying to brand your images together. You're trying to make them like part of a flow. Okay? Notice this. Right? Notice my image here. What stands out the most on this? No, not that. It's this. I can't point to it. It's this right here. That stands out the most. Why? Because it's a direct contrast. You don't need all your stuff to appear branded and smooth. You need it to stand out, bah, in the news feed, because these aren't just part of your brand. They also are going to be found in search in the bigger YouTube community, and you need yours to stand out, So I don't want to go into it, but I have a client that she just refuses to make custom thumbnails. She says, I don't need them. I'm such and such. I'm this person. Everyone knows me. But when you Google what she does, everybody else has thumbnails that look exactly the same. So do some thumbnail research for the term you're trying to rank for, and look at the other thumbnails that are there and how you can make yours different. So I made a set of purple thumbnails because everybody else was doing red and black, and I just wanted to, bam, be different. And you know what? Video does well. Make sure that your text is big and fat and readable, and limit your text, okay? The text should come in from the sides. It should be stacked, okay? It should be stacked, not stretched. And you want to limit your text to 3 to 5 words. 12 words, too much, okay? Stay away from that. And then build in layers. So, I like what, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name again. I shouldn't even said that, but the last one that we were looking at, it's not even bad, right? It's not bad at all. Shaya J. But, hang on, lost my train of thought. Okay, you made these, you're making these like trifecta images, right? It's like 3 images in one. Instead, build in layers where you've got one image and then text and then maybe another image on top of that, kind of like what Fowler was doing. So I think that those things will help. So what was that? Life Effects says, damn, am I too ugly for that? If you're really ugly, it can work. If you're really ugly, put that crap on camera, dude. Be like, show people. You got to own it either way. And you need people to naturally go to your eyeballs. If you want to learn more about how to make people's eyeballs go right to the main area, go look at Donald Duck in Mathland. Okay? And with that, I'm going to wrap up today. If you guys want to upgrade your TubeBuddy and you want to use all the premium features for 1 penny, Phil, who's the CEO of TubeBuddy, Phil and I made a deal. And if you use the link that I just pasted here, you can get TubeBuddy, all the premium features. You get the top level deal for 1 penny. All right? So use that link. You can sign up there and experience the full gamut of TubeBuddy. My channel has absolutely exploded since using TubeBuddy, and that came along with, right? It didn't just happen on its own, right? It's not like, oh, I got TubeBuddy and I blew up. It came along with getting training. It came along with listening to Daryl Eves, listening to Brian G. Johnson, listening to Nick Nimon and what these guys are doing. toning back the complaining a little bit. Not saying that you guys are great, but there's a lot of creators that all they do is complain. I'm not famous yet. I'm not famous yet. Why aren't people watching me? Guys, I went through it too. I didn't make money with this until after about 2 years in the game. You got to back off of that. You got to say, I'm going to be a learner. I'm going to be a student. Okay? And TubeBuddy now has the greatest training on the web next to my own channel. The training that you get here on these live streams is absolutely the same quality of training that we get at the high-end conferences. Conferences that I speak at. Conferences that people pay thousands of dollars to go to, and then they fly, and then they get hotel rooms and all that kind of stuff. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're not in a place where you can fly out to VidSummit, if you can't fly out to CVX Live in Utah to come see me speak, log into TubeBuddy. Go through the trainings. And instead of saying, I'm already doing that, think to yourself, how could I be doing that even better? So I appreciate you guys watching today. I'm sorry we couldn't get to all of it. Exploring the Universe says, you are a funny man. Master Nicodemus says, yep, you're ugly. I'm so glad that you guys are here to play with me. And I'm honored to be a part of this channel and doing what we do. Go check out TubeBuddy for a penny. Get the advanced features. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Keep the conversation going, okay? If you want to engage with me, go to my channel, leave a comment on the videos over there. I spend time every day going through my comments, okay? Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you super soon.